Firstly, the resurrection proved that Jesus was who he claimed to be, the Son of God and Saviour. In John 11:25, Jesus said, "I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me will live, even though they die." When Jesus rose from the dead, he validated every promise he made. Paul, in his letter to the Corinthians, emphasizes this truth. He boldly declared, "If Christ has not been raised, our preaching is useless, and so is your faith." 1 Corinthians 15:14. Can you imagine that? Without the resurrection, our faith would be empty and without meaning. Now let's look at the impact on the early Christians. They went from being scared and hiding to boldly preaching the gospel, even in the face of persecution. Why? Because they had witnessed the risen Jesus. This transformed their fear into unshakable courage. And here's something incredible. Historical evidence supports the resurrection. The empty tomb was acknowledged even by Jesus' enemies. In Matthew the 28th of November 15, we read that the chief priests and elders devised a plan to spread the lie that Jesus' body was stolen. Why? Because the tomb was indeed empty. Moreover, the Gospels and Paul's letters provide multiple independent accounts of the resurrection. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John and Paul all testify to this miraculous event. These writings date back to just a few years after the resurrection, way too soon for myths to develop. The disciples' transformation is also compelling evidence. They went from fearfully hiding to boldly proclaiming the risen Christ. Why would they risk their lives for something they knew was a lie? They wouldn't. They were convinced because they had encountered the risen Jesus. So why does the resurrection matter? It matters because it confirms Jesus as the Son of God. It matters because it transforms our faith from empty to vibrant. It matters because it turns fear into courage. And it matters because it's not just a story, it's the truth that has changed countless lives throughout history. Friends, as we reflect on the resurrection, let's remember that it's more than an event. It's the heartbeat of our faith. Jesus is alive, and that changes everything. Thanks for watching, and God bless. End.